Monopoly Prizm, 2nd edition, how to play. The rules are the same as regular Monopoly, except for these changes. For a refresher of those rules, check out this video. Money is replaced with point chips. Each player starts with 5 50-point chips and 5 10-point chips. Place the NBA award cards face down on their spot on the board in numerical order so the number 1 card is on top. In a 2 or 3 player game, only use the cards numbered 1, 3, 5, 7, and 8. Shuffle the playmaker cards, then put them on their spot on the board. To draft the player cards, place all the Panini cards face up where everyone can see them with their stats side hidden. Purchase booster boxes to add more NBA players to your draft pool. Each player rolls the die and the highest goes first and picks one of the player cards and places it in front of them without looking at its stats side. Then the player to their left picks. Once everyone has one card, then the player who picked last goes first in the next round of picking. Repeat this process until everyone has 4 cards, which they arrange so they have 3 starters and 1 reserve in front of them. All Panini cards must remain face up with their stats side hidden until the proper time. Any cards not chosen in the draft are placed face up to the side. The last player to have picked a Panini card in the draft goes first in the gameplay. Properties have been replaced with NBA games. When you land on an uncontrolled game, you must try to take control of it if you can. To do so, you must meet the player rating or stat requirement on the NBA game card. Flip over the corresponding card. If it's a starter player that doesn't reach it, flip over another one until you find one who meets the requirement. Then, pay the amount listed on the board and take the card. Once finished, flip all your cards stat side down again. If you don't meet the requirements, then leave the card where it is and do nothing. If you land on an NBA game that another player controls, then you must compete with them. To compete, both players flip over their reserve card and you compare the players' rankings. If the controller of the NBA game has a higher ranking than you, then you must pay them the bonus point amount as indicated on the back of their NBA game card. But if your ranking is the same or higher, then pay nothing. Both of you then flip your cards stat side down. If ever you don't have enough points to pay, you aren't eliminated but are still in the game. Whenever you reach the go space, you must stop moving even if you had moves left. Then, collect 40 points from the bank and flip over the top NBA award card so everyone can see it and compete. To compete, the card will tell you who your opponent is and what to do. Follow the instructions on the card. If the card says you can roll a die, then only you get to roll, not both you and your opponent. Rookie cards are indicated by a banner icon in the top right of the image. The winner of the contest collects the award card and keeps it until the end of the game. After the contest, return your players stat side down back in front of you to their original positions. At the end of the contest, regardless if you won or not, the player who landed on go and initiated the contest may rearrange any of their player cards to their reserve without looking at the stats. The jump ball token is used like a coin flip to break ties. The new board spaces are: trade. You must trade any one of your NBA players for one of any opponent's or for any one that is still with the bank. Traded NBA players go into the same position they were traded. You may not rearrange. When trading with an opponent, they may not refuse the trade. Playmaker. Take the top card of the Playmaker deck and do what it says, then return the card to the bottom of the deck. Team bus. You may move to any space between that team bus and the next one if you want, following the rules for the space you land on. You must still stop on go and perform a contest. You may not skip it. Go to timeout and timeout replace the go to jail and jail space. The price to get out of timeout is 10 points, or you must roll a 6. While in timeout, you can still trade, collect bonus points, and participate in Playmaker challenges and award contests. You are allowed to buy, sell, or trade NBA games with your opponents at any time. You may not trade award cards, and you can only trade NBA players through the trade space. The game ends immediately when all the NBA award contests have been completed. Then, Each player collects the amount shown on the board for every NBA game space they control, collecting an extra 10 points for each game in a colored set. They then collect the value in the top left of all the NBA awards cards they have. Players add up all their points, and the player with the most points wins.